Ah, there you go. So, what's happening in Hattie's world?
So yeah, I've been getting a lot of guys' numbers. So, but like,
Uh,
oh wait, I forgot that it was recording. Whatever. I
don't
have
worry.
been. It is my channel, so but I have, and some of them are good, some of them not so much. But
Uh, there's 350, there's roughly, probably 20 million young men out there. Just guessing. But there's lots, and you have lots of time.
yeah.
Yeah. As I've mentioned before, it's rare to find someone your age who resonates with what is called non-duality. A lot of people think it's a cult or a belief system, but I suppose it is not a cult, but it is a belief system that goes counter to what the mass of people believe.
Yeah, that things are real, I guess. Or I mean, I think it's just taking things so seriously, like all the everything, the melodramas in your head.
Mm.
Um, so much of it is just this monologue going on in your head, and something believes it, and you know, just to see that that isn't reality is very powerful, I guess you could say.
It is powerful and can be very upsetting to. I was reading a group of accounts of people who went into depression after dealing with non-duality, and I was trying to find it. I saved
Mm,
it somewhere, but it was so upsetting that they wish they'd never heard of it. It was so earth-shaking, and it is. Um, the idea that things aren't as we see them, that and yet they are in a way. Things exist only as we see them, and it's a
see 'em. Yeah.
profoundly different belief system. It's rare. It and you can't explain it to people really. It's so difficult to explain. I'm not sure how anyone your age, and it confounds me. Usually it's people that have sought for years, have, 50 years for me was seeking, uh, reading books, reading everything I could find. My best day I could find was to be dropped off at the bookstore before they had books on the internet. I would spend hours. But when did this start to come upon you, this idea that things weren't quite the way we see them?
Hmm. I mean, I've always kind of had this suspicion in me, but as soon as I found spirit, almost just like, oh my God, what is this? Like just like this need that like was so intense and insane that was like trying to grasp onto something or find something or I don't know, or be something, be someone and be
Mm.
special or and then on came non-duality. And it just sort of it just made sense. Something in me just like was like, oh shit. Yeah, I knew there was something up. There was this like a, oh shit. always
Mm,
been suspicious, a suspicious person that's like a lot of the things I've been told aren't true in a way, or mm,
mm.
things aren't so solid, I guess.
A year ago or 2 years ago?
There's just no way it could be. Yeah, my seven like it was like a couple months before my 17th birthday,
Ah,
and then shit, yeah, like about then I found non-duality, and like it sort of exploded all my belief systems, so it sort of made me even more crazy. So I ended up in a mental hospital,
mm, it
and
does.
'cause I was like just being kind of an arrogant bitch to everyone. Like I was just like one of those people I would just like spew all my non-duality shit onto them. Like they don't care, but I would be like, "There's no one. Oh my God, nothing exists. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I'm right. I'm right."
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Um, and I was just doing that the whole seeing anything you're saying. My mom, I had my phone taken away, so I was listening to Jim Newman secretly on my school Chromebook with the one earbud. Um,
Oh, oh my God. I haven't come across anybody your age. There are young people, um, but not
some
teenage.
people are in their 20s.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. There was a young lady who was, I'm not sure how old she was, Ariana, I think her name was, who spoke for a year and then just disappeared. Um, she had the lingo down right, and she met a young man, and it seemed to go dark on her, and then she just disappeared. Um, yeah, to discuss this with friends, especially your age, would be very difficult. I never talk about it to anybody. I go about my day happy and I feel warm towards people. My heart opens to them. There's this great sympathy for the human condition. It's hard to be human. Oh, it's hard to be a teenager. It's hard to be.
wait 1 second. I'm not sure how the internet reaches up here.
Uh, no worries. Yeah, and I'm sure your parents were worried about you. It's so easy to fall into a cult, especially when they tell you the normal cultish lines like uh, how beautiful you are and how special you are. It's easy to fall for the cult. But there isn't anything cultish that I can see. And I've read a lot of literature on cults and gurus and stuff. And this leads to something far different. There's no leaders, there's nobody smarter than you concerning these things, there's no authorities. Um, no one knows more about this than you, because nothing can be known about our condition. Mostly, I suppose, because we don't have one. But this is strange talk for people, and your parents would be worried about you. Um, Parents would. What's happened to Addie? She's talking to strange people on the internet.
Mm. My mom's pretty chill,
Is she
but
really? No.
yeah, yeah, she's really chill. Especially now that I'm 18, she's like, I don't even just whatever, man. Go. just kind of
Yeah,
given up on caring too much. But I mean, she cares obviously,
of
but she's a really
course.
good mom at that.
Oh, it's wonderful to have a mother like that. Um, yeah, support from a parent is so important. The love of a parent is important. Um, you're pretty strong-willed and probably have been since you were 10 or 9. Um,
It's been a little less so lately, but yeah.
how is your peace of mind? Does this bother you? The things, does it seem to tear your life away in any way, or do
Mm.
you feel emotionally stable, content with where you're at?
I would say for the most part, there's still a lot of like mental stuff that happens, but like there's also like a deeper understanding that like these thoughts don't know what they're talking about. And like the deeper, I guess you could say, the emptiness that is beyond all of it.
Hmm.
Um, that is a real truth beyond all the words and shit that are spewed around in my brain. Um, I wouldn't say I have too much of or seeing others as myself. Um, but when I do look at this appearance, there obviously doesn't look like there's anything separate in it, or that I'm separate of it, or how there could be anything separate of it, because it just doesn't make sense. um, why that would be. But at the same time, living life takes up so much space unless
Oh, yes.
you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, all the things that a normal 18-year-old goes through. Um, that's true of all of us. Thought seems to create so much space, seems to take up so much space because the sense of personal identity, the I am, the self, is nothing but thought. Um, the idea of controlling thought, if you've ever tried to meditate, you learn fairly quickly that it's impossible to turn the thinking mind off. There are people who claim they can, that they live in silence. They don't. Thought is constant. It goes day and night. Um, Nighttime is dream thinking, random dreams of objectification. Um, but you don't have the regret. You don't say, God, I wish I never would have come across non-duality, or I wish I could be like everyone else.
Sometimes, I guess. I mean, I have a friend online, and he's kind of taught me a lot. His name's Casey. And I mean, like I kind of had a lot of these issues, but then like the more and more I talked about him, like I kind of saw that these people aren't special in a way, and I'm, beautiful. So I'm
Mm.
perfect. And like it's sort of like it's he's short of just talking to him shake me into some sort of reality in a way. We're like kids together when we talk on the phone. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of part of, yeah, how it's been able to happen a bit more quickly too, because he's helped a lot. Honestly.
I'm sure you're aware of the dangers of the net and falling for people's lines. Um, that it's nobody is who they appear to be, even us. Even the person, what is a fluid hologram? There is what a relief in being with someone who just accepts us the way we are. And that's rare. Just somebody who wouldn't change us or has no desire to help us, even, who just enjoys your company for no particular reason. You're an anomaly to me. As I mentioned, your age surprises me that dealing, if you look at my friends list, it's almost all. Well, I think you are the only young person there. This is out of 5,000 people now.
Amore's pretty young. I guess young, young, you mean?
I would guess he's late 20s. I don't know. Yeah, he is youngish. Usually it takes a lifetime of struggle, like I mentioned, a lifetime of wondering, a lifetime of searching, a long time. And then somehow it dawns that all of our searching has been looking for ideas, looking for things that exist only as ideas. What are you doing?
It's circles. It just goes in circles.
Circles, yeah, loops.
Circles.
Yeah, circular thought.
You're not going like this. You're just going. You're not even good in circles. You're just,
Yeah, it's just words. And that's a realization that comes sometimes crashing in, sometimes with a great catharsis. I don't know if you know Nancy Nethercutt. Um, everyone I know has crashed. Almost everyone has had a personal catharsis, a breakdown of sorts, and where the old world is ripped apart.
Mm.
But not you, evidently. That's why you're an anomaly to me. Um, Part of me hopes you'll be okay with this. Part of me knows that I have no say in what happens to anyone, including myself. My son was over this evening. He bought us dinner, and he is has liberal tendencies. His wife is liberal, and her whole side of the family is liberal. And he would have voted for Kamala Harris, which surprises me. But so we talk about this, and I see he's very smart. He was an engineer who hated engineering. Um, but so he's really smart and he sees a lot of things. And I see things differently than he does. So we talk about these things peacefully, about how he sees things, and I learn things from him, and I change my beliefs, or beliefs change in his company, and I like that. Something in us lets go gradually and just goes along with life, relaxes, doesn't try to manipulate its thoughts. Thought is just bubbles up. Every thought naturally. You can live relaxed in the midst of the conceptual storm, in the midst of the incessant thought stream. And if this stops, you stop. You are the thought stream. But it's possible. My life is so peaceful. Of course, I've lived life and worked hard, and we're financially secure now. But it was hard. It was hard struggle. We raised three children and very low skilled, but it was wonderful. The worst things that happened to us were the best things. When I was young in my middle 20s, we opened a business and was very successful. Made a lot of money, and I was drinking and I opened another business and it was successful. And then I went in partnership with another business and it was successful. And everything was just going great. And my partners ran off and left me so far in debt that we went bankrupt. And we just lost our house. We got to keep one car and $20,000. And so we started with three little kids, moved to a ski resort, and made turquoise jewelry for a living. We made like $15,000 a year, but ate so much chili that I still don't like it. Very little meat, really. I mean, meat was too expensive. We played checkers by firelight. But losing everything was the best thing that ever happened. I stopped drinking and smoking. I learned to love life slowly. But you seem to have reached that realization. I know you've had struggles, everyone does. Love's lost, heartache, all the things that teenagers go through, especially teenage girls, I think. I think they have it rougher. Girls can be very mean to each other. Boys fight. Girls use words normally that hurt. My wife was ripped apart by girls when she was young, especially if you're special. Uh, if you stand out, you're a threat to other girls because it's a competition for boys when you get to be your age. So you can become an outcast and you take it personally, think there's something wrong with you. But again, I'm guessing. This is only my experience. But life is
Yeah,
hard.
I just don't hang out with those girls.
I don't blame you. They're pretty
Mhm.
shallow. They can be. But they're lost too. They're, I think, more lost because, just because life is so hard. I think what happens after a while, you see how hard life is, and then your heart opens to others, and then it opens to you. You embrace your own humanness, your own femininity, and relish in it. The the joy of being female, of having a very strange power over men. I can only imagine, but it's quite wonderful, I think. It's wonderful to be male. I love being a male. I love being old. I love being me. Whatever that is, I'll never know. None of us will. No one has ever been like you, and no one will ever be like you again, even remotely like you. You're a one of a kind deal. I don't think people are perfect. That's just a word. That doesn't mean anything to me. I think they're wonderful. A trillion cells, all cooperating, a liver that's cleaning your blood, kidneys that clean, lungs that breathe, heart that pumps 24 hours a day, never gets any rest except for the pause between beats. Your life can end at any moment. You can have an aneurysm and die. Life is a gift, a very precious gift, and to have the ability to communicate with each other is unique. I think it's a one of a kind deal in the universe. Evolution never repeats itself. There may be life out there, I don't know, and I don't care. I doubt if we'll ever know. But when humans are gone, this ability to think and share and self-reflect, I don't think it'll ever happen again. Be strange if it did.
I would say the same thing, but yeah, it seems so very specific. Like how everything sort of works together. Apparently, not really, but seems that everything sort of it's
Yeah,
cool how
it's
like
cool.
literally everything's so balanced in nature almost and your body and
Uh,
I mean
yes.
it's just incredible. The world is incredible. It's just so weird that it's even there in a way that it's even exists. Mm,
Mm, it's incredible. It's,
incredible.
it's seamless. Somehow strawberries get to Chicago in the winter. There's a economic thing called invisible hand, the invisible hand of Adam Smith, they call it. He's the guy who came up with the theory, and somehow oranges. I grew up in the cold states, as you are in, and in Denver and Wyoming, we would get oranges, and orange trees don't grow there. And somehow everything that comes to you in the grocery store from all over the world, you can get coffee and tea from Sri Lanka and just everything. It all works together. And
Beautiful, yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. Um, and the world you're going to experience at your age. I didn't see TV till I was 10. Um, no computers, no internet, no nothing like that. Um, but the world you're going to experience, this geometric growth of what? Of complexity and interrelationship is going to be fascinating. I'm not saying that's better or worse than mine. Mine was wonderful with all of its travails and hardships. It was grand. It's a
Yeah.
movie.
Do you know the quote that like a lot of beautiful art comes from like um if you if you don't have much to work with, that can almost make it better in a way than if
Mhm.
you have like everything to work from. You aren't able to focus on one thing if you have too much of it, too much. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like
I think so. Um,
kind of how
yeah.
like if you're trying to make art, if you have too much of a like too infinite of a ability at your fingertip,
Ah, yes.
which
Yeah.
is sort of
We,
the new world in a way, it becomes it's more and more accessible to make these things, which
it is. Oh my. I've started playing with my son has an art store. Um, and so I'm helping him. He wanted some patterns of California modeled after the early 1920s orange crate art, that type of thing. And so I went to Chat GPT, I think it is, and the images you can create, you give a whole long paragraph of the image you'd like to create, and then it creates this image for you. And some of them are just so beautiful. I can't believe it. So he has the whole bunch of machinery, and one of which he puts these images on coasters. And he's playing with that now. He manufactures a lot of things and represents a lot of artists too. But just what they can, just what AI can do with that is absolutely incredible. And this is, you're standing right on the edge of artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I love AI. A lot of people are scared of it, but I find it incredible. I'm just like, whoa.
Right.
It's so fascinating and cool. Like,
It
what
is.
the hell?
It is. That's, I think, the excitement. I think those people that are frightened have possibly good reasons. I don't know. But no one knows what's going to happen. But no one knows, no one ever knew or will know what's going to happen. We color in the future with an imagined past, and usually it's dire. It's catastrophic. We won't last forever as a species. No species does. We all have a time limit, a built-in obsolescence.
Or it's like incredible. Oh,
Mm. Yeah, the whole thing is incredible. I'm constantly amazed that anything exists at all. I'm amazed that I can move my hand as easily as this. It's just incredible. Um,
I appreciate you sharing it with me. It's like, wow, you're right. It's crazy.
well, I do. I see
It's
you
just
as incredible. I think you're unique in my experience, but every person is unique. I fall in love with everyone that I meet. I wrote along a page on how easy is it to fall in love with everyone. Your heart opens, it sees, especially when you've been through pain yourself. It sees the pain of others, and your heart opens to them. They're heroes. Everyone's a hero. Um, and they become literally part of who I am and how we are images. My image of you somehow flows into the image of me, and part of me becomes addiized, um, amorized. Figuratively, it would be like everyone I meet has a small apartment or a small room in my brain or this brain. Literally, the longer I know people, the larger their room becomes. The more I
hmm.
know about them, the more I see how human they are, the more I see how lovely they are.
I think that's like a thing for a lot of people is the more they hang out with you, the more they kind of naturally care for you or something, or feel more ease in your presence too, you know. You guys become closer. But it's not really how it is for you. I think you have that ease either way, but you know. Mm.
It boils down to love of self. Yeah, I think you first start to see how beautiful people are, and then you're a people too. You're beautiful too. People don't tell us that enough, I think. People are not as free with their love. It's so hard to say, I love you. I did hospice work with dying people for a long time. And when you sit with someone who's dying, there's no reason to hold anything back. You just open your heart to them and they tell you stories and you listen. The art of hospice is listening to people. And the gift, only gift you have to offer is this profound love. Doesn't want anything. It doesn't want to change anything. It just enjoys your presence. It feels, I just wrote something about dancing in each other's light. It
Mm.
feels like that. Uh, Regardless of who it could be a 10-year-old child. I saw a boy in Costco. It was Christmas time, and he had a gun somewhere. He picked up a little plastic gun, and he was pointing at people, and everybody was just busy with their Christmas shopping. And I looked at him, and he saw me with his gun, and I gave him a manly stare, like, and I pointed a pistol at him, and he went like this, and I went like this, and so we were sizing. He was maybe 8 or 10. I don't know, cute little boy. So we were just, and it's a guy thing. I don't think girls do this. Maybe they do, but we were doing this thing, just
I
trip.
grew up with three brothers, so
Oh yeah, you know.
I kind of have that bone in me sometimes.
That's why you're tough. You're a strong.
Especially
Yeah, you have to
in
learn
gym
to.
class.
My God. Oh, the stories I'll bet. But we were playing together. I became a 10-year-old and he became a cowboy and he became part of who I am. That's why I'm talking about him. Um, you are becoming a part of me and I am becoming a part of you. That's as close as we'll ever get. Um, Images in each other's brain. But that's true of your mother and your father and your boyfriends. They're just images in your brain. For me, it makes life so much easier. Instead of, you'll still have heartache ahead of you. That's the way life is. Life will rip your heart out.
As
Someone
it
you love.
should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it in any other way. Like I wouldn't want to love someone in a way where there isn't heartache if they died or something, you know. Sounds
Mm.
sad.
Yeah. It is sad.
It has to be.
Mm. That's sadness is part of love. It makes everyone precious. Um, while you have them. You can tell them you love them and thank them for being. One of the things I tell people if I have a good waiter or I don't know, a good anybody, say a good waiter, I'll say, tell your parents they did a good job. Oh, I will, thank you.
Aw.
And I truly
People
mean
love when you put attention on them. Yeah.
they do. They do.
They love attention.
We're attention hogs. It's our nature.
Especially my brother.
Yeah, we like to feel special. We like to feel loved. Um,
Hmm.
Everyone does. But this is not a forced love. It's a genuine love. When someone's good at their job and happy, and I just, I don't know what happens, but and
I
somehow,
like it too. Yeah.
oh, of course you do. I do too. I think
I
that's,
like capable people. I do. Like
I
ones
do.
that are self-assured, you
Yeah, I do too. But even the ones that aren't, I fall in love with because they're missing the joy. And my heart aches for them in a way. Not literally, and I don't go, ache for them, but something in me feels sorry for them for not feeling this busting out joy of dancing in life, falling in love everywhere you go. Uh, I think a young, attractive female has to be a little careful. Uh, Males can misunderstand that and think that you're coming on to them, but I don't have to worry about that. I'm an old man.
I
So,
am coming on.
yeah. Uh,
Uh,
You sweetie.
I
Uh,
usually am, so.
that's natural. Everything is so natural. I'll see a couple walking by and I'll say, "You guys are so beautiful." And the man will say, "What?" And the woman always softens to that immediately. Oh, they say, "Oh, thank you." And the man will say, "What?" I say, "You're so beautiful. How long have you known each other?" Especially if it's an old couple. "Oh, we went together in high school." I said, "Oh my gosh, isn't that wonderful?" And then we start talking. I'll say, "My wife and I met in high school. She was 15 and I was 17." And then the door opens and then you're in their life. You become part of their memories. Um, in a way, we're all coming on to each other. We're, again, that's human. We want to be part of a tribe, to fit in, to feel important, feel loved, really. That's the only gift we have for one another is this joy of being in your company. You can feel it with some people. You have relatives that adore you and think you're just perfect. Could be an aunt, an uncle, it could be a teacher, it could be someone who makes you feel special and loved. I hope you do. If not, you can fill that emptiness yourself, that longing, that loneliness that all humans have. Um, you're the only one that can, really. And that can't be taken away. Nothing can happen to it. I wake up in the morning feeling like this, and I go to bed at night. Um, I would wish that for you if my wishes were real, and they're just wishes. I would wish this for anyone. I think you're well on your way. I do. Maybe you are there already. I hope. But again, that's just my hopes. Oh, I don't know what's going on, Addie. No one does. I think your connection is frozen. No, it froze. You froze for a while.
Oh, there you are.
Ah,
Oh, you're back too. Hello.
hello. Um, these pauses are, I think, a resting place where the mind can rest for a while in the moment of awareness, maybe. But it's very pleasant, the
That's how
pause.
it feels. I think that's why I like these meetings because it sort of allows me to sit down. I'm not busy at the moment usually, and just sit in that. It's so peaceful and nice.
Hmm. Yeah, when you don't have to pretend, and I don't have to pretend. Just trust what comes up. Uh, my son has a third, four, she's going to be, she's 14 now. And very much like you, very alert, um, very outgoing, really likes
Mm.
boys. And she says, "Dad, I hate school." He's, and he says, "Oh, I know, but they'll put me in jail if you don't go." And I hated school. I just hated school all the way through. Hated college. Hated it. Um, so my heart aches for her. She's so beautiful and talented. She wants to be an actress. She is an actress. She's been like in 5 or 6 plays, and she sings in front of an audience of,
She good?
yeah, uh, of like, oh, and a
It
hundred and,
reminds me of my whenever there's oh sorry.
oh, no worries. Go ahead.
It reminds me of when I'm at my school. Whenever at my school dances, I go so hard. It's so fun. Only person, people on the dance floor, and everyone else is like on the like sidelines, just filming me. Like, who is this weirdo?
So you go dance, huh?
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I go dance. I actually flirted with a girl on the dance floor. She was into me. I was like, I
That's
was like
that's
teasing her and
natural
stuff. And
too.
I was
Yeah, all of that is so natural. Uh, yeah, this attraction, this magnetic attraction is so exquisite. And we learn to put a damper on that when we're little. I've watched mothers, a baby will touch their genitals and a mother will slap their hands. And I think, oh,
mm,
oh. When my son was young, I'd hold his face in my hands and tell him I loved him and I'll always love him. I'll always be here for him. I did that as he was growing up, and he does that to his children, and they have turned out so wonderfully. That's all we really need is someone to tell us. I had a teacher in the 4th grade that was so kind to me. I was a battered child, and teachers were not mandated then to report that. His name was Mr. Lowe, and he'd come and sit with me at lunch, and we'd talk, and he'd share his lunch with me. I just loved him. I still do. He was my
mm.
cookie lady. I've had several over the
You
years.
still know him?
Oh, no, no, he's long dead. I'm 82, so I would have been 10 years old.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot. I would love to tell him how much he meant to me. I had a therapist when I was going through my dark night. I fell in love with her. She's a little lady in a wheelchair, badly crippled. I think I've mentioned her. Her mother would, I told her I had how I felt with my panic attacks, and this was before they had a name for them. She said, "Oh, yeah, hon, those are panic attacks. I have them too." I said, "Really?" And then I felt better because at least I wasn't alone. She said, "Yeah, my mom would get drunk and throw me around by my hair when I was a little girl." I said, "Oh." And we laughed and cried for a year or so, and I fell in love with her. I still am. It was just me being on the same human level of just loving and healing, really. You're not going crazy, Addie. You're not you're not going bonkers. You're just you're just Addie, a whole universe of memories who happens to be one of the very few who will find, I believe, the peace that passes understanding if you don't have it already. Um, like I mentioned, your life ahead is going to be tough, Life is tough for everyone. Uh, near the end, you wouldn't change anything. Not that you could. I wouldn't change a thing in my life. My childhood was barren. And then I met my wife. She warmed. That's when my world started to warm. She's very unique. She never says anything bad about anybody. She doesn't think anything bad about anybody.
That's sweet. Yeah.
It's so sweet. I can't believe it. My brother married a Chinese lady who's the same. Both of us
Wow.
dead without our wives. Um, it wasn't luck, just life. Could have gone the other way. I have a friend who's spending his life in prison because he killed someone. My brother and I almost killed someone one night. He was kicked out of a bar that we went to when we were, I don't even think I was 21 yet. Maybe I was. But the bartender, he got in a dispute with another man over a table because it was so crowded. And the sheriff heard this dispute and grabbed my brother and by the back of his seats and tossed him out into the snow. And so my brother was so pissed that we lived about a block from the bar and he had a pistol and he went to get his pistol. And we were walking back to the bar and my brother was going to shoot the sheriff. And a 22 single action revolver just shoots 122 bullet at a time. The sheriff had a 9 millimeter automatic, semi-automatic. It wouldn't have turned out good. But on the way there, it gets cold in Wyoming. It was probably 20 below. And the pistol got so cold, he said, "Here, hold this goddamn thing. It's cold." So I held it, thinking, Jesus, I don't think we should go in there. But I was still going to do it because he was my brother. And we would have both gone to the death penalty. In Wyoming, they still hang people there, as far as I know. They did then.
Damn, really?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Crazy.
Crazy, crazy. And so I took the pistol, and it was so cold, we decided it's probably not a good idea and went home. But that's how close. 3 or 4 times I've come that close to thoroughly destroying my life.
Sounds kind of
Mostly,
stupid.
truly. Well, when you're drinking,
Like, why?
yeah,
Because you're drinking, yeah.
when you're drinking, especially heavily. I mean, blank out drunks, blackout, where you don't remember stuff. That's the way we both grew up. Drinking, I started drinking
Mm,
when I was 15 or 16. And it was just, I don't know, interesting life. But I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't. I love my life. I love the story of my life. It's just a story, just memories, which I remember very little, really. It becomes like stepping off a cliff into a vast unknowableness. And for some people, that's terrifying. But for people like you, it isn't. Um, it's an adventure. I grew up in Wyoming. I didn't like people from California, but circumstances happened where I came to live in California beyond my control, and I didn't like it. Southern California is quite a bit of desert. The little town I went to last year was in the desert, and I hated it. So hot, no pine trees, no running water. But it's a sweet little town, really. It's where I met my wife. But you, were you the baby of the family? Three older brothers? No.
No, one younger.
Young.
Cursed. But yeah. I got a little brother that lives at home still, and then two
Ah,
older who one of them's actually my sister now because she's trans. So
interesting. Oh, that's a whole
yeah.
world that you're exposed to. Um,
Yeah.
your parents are cool with that?
hmm Well, my mama is, but my dad's not really too much in my life right now.
Oh, that happens too. Sounds like you have a cool mom. Yeah,
Do you have a
people,
cool mom?
my son and I had a long conversation about trans people this afternoon. No one can help the way they are. Um,
Yeah.
we can love them just the way they are. We would hope them to
And
be
he
happy.
doesn't really act like a dude either, in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he feels like a female. His brain says female, I think.
hmm
Um, and his life has not been easy. Our heart can open to his struggles emotionally that
I
he's
think he
gone.
might be addicted to cocaine. Yeah.
Bless his
Um,
heart. We do what we
yeah.
have to get by. I have mentioned once or twice in my tale that I would have died without alcohol. Nearly died because of it, but I don't think I could have made it without some type of release. Cocaine is difficult because it's difficult to stop. But it's a coping. We do what we have to get by. Um, you can still adore him for whatever he is and whatever happens and whatever he does. No one can help what they do. We're reactive machinery, really. We don't have a choice. That starts to
It
dawn on,
makes it so much easier to be around people. Like,
it does, doesn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
just allowing them.
Even mean people we can see as someone who's hasn't been loved, probably. Um,
Yeah.
I haven't seen a mean person since that night in Las Vegas. I've seen people who go through the actions of looking mean or angry but I see them more as frightened. Uh, a wounded dog.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
just so like eternally stressed that just they're like kind of angry, or everything pisses them off. So there's like this internal like repression going on.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. We don't, our normal response is to get angry back as a defense, but something in
People
us,
get confused when you don't. Yeah.
yeah, confusion. But then after a while, your heart opens to them, and then you become non-threatening to them if you look at them with gentle eyes. And somehow you know intuitively what to do. Sometimes looking at
Mm.
somebody who's angry will piss them off and say, "What are you looking at?" But then you're caught in the web. But something intuitively knows.
Sometimes I'll give like
Yeah.
like some girls at school, know what I mean? I'll just like give them a hard
That's
eye. They're like, "What?
cute.
What the heck?
What the heck? Oh, that's cute.
What am I supposed to do with that?"
Yeah, that does not my normal reaction. So cute. Oh, um, yeah, I'd love to see. I won't be here, but I'd love to see you in 10 years and 20 years and to see what happens to you, the story of Addie. Um,
I know it's gonna be like not like pretty fireworky because I just am not as scared of going hard on things like other people are like getting into it, getting down and dirty. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like
they are. Yeah.
I'm okay with not taking the safe route.
That's rare. That's rare. There's a movie called Palm Springs. If you get a chance, watch it.
I keep wanting to, but I don't really have a streaming service for it.
Don't you? Okay. Sometime if it crosses your world. Um, it's quite lovely. Gives a whole different view of life.
I love those movies. Those are my favorite ones. The like philosophical ones. I kind of
Yeah.
get bored by like the more popular ones. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they're just there for stimulating or like be crazy. Um,
Yeah.
but-
Yeah. Yeah. We watch TV at night, my wife and I. And yeah, I like the ones with a little, s- I don't know, a little bit deeper meaning that you can dig out.
Mhm. They get me actually focused in on it. I'm like, oh, like so in it. I'm like,
Yeah.
love those movies.
Yeah. Um, I'm glad we had this talk. I worry sometimes, especially after reading that article about some people are ripped apart by non-duality, that it's so upsetting and so earth-shaking that small doses are usually recommended instead of jumping naked into the deep end. But you seem so fine, so stable. Do you know Claire Patterson? She's a
The
therapist.
therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, talk to her sometime. She's a non-dual. She's fully into non-duality and also a therapist, which is kind of strange. But she has integrated the two of them, and she's a
Mm.
great joy to talk to. She has a website. I'll send it to you. It's not her therapy website, it's a non-dual website. I don't know, maybe you're on it. Um, but sometime talk to her. She's just a lot of fun. She doesn't spout therapy. I don't know. I think you'd enjoy her. There's a feminine side to the world that was. There's more of an intimate connection, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But women think differently than men, fundamentally different. And again, that's part of the magnetism between the two.
There's something in me that's so curious of what is the difference and like wanting to get into it, like sink my teeth into it. Like like just wanting to
Yeah.
yeah.
You start to explore your own world. And
Hmm.
that's who you are anyway, a unique world of Addie. Um, Start to delight in it and start to dance everywhere, not only at school dances, but playing with relationships, playing in relationships, and not making light of relationships. I love relationships, but they become lighter, less what? Less sticky.
Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My heart goes out to your brother, yeah, since you've mentioned him.
The
Uh,
littler one? Yeah. Oh, the
yeah,
cocaine one. Yeah.
both. Is the transsexual on cocaine? Oh, you froze
Yeah.
again.
And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of intense. Like
Uh,
I was there at her place once. Do you hear me?
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I just saw her doing it while I was with her, and I was like, it just made me sad almost. Didn't like seeing her do
Oh,
that. Um,
oh. Does she it is the transsexual brother or sister that
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that makes life it helps cope, but it makes life so confusing. It's confusing anyway. But again, all you can do is love her and let her know that. I hope she I hope she finds happiness
She's
in
like a, me too. She's a deeply interesting person, like so cool.
oh,
So unique. Just like wow. Like I was kind of jealous of her when I was little. Like she was like the person I was like kind of jealous of. Like, I thought she was so
really?
cool. Like,
Have you told her that?
yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you?
I think so. Like
Oh,
here and
tell her again.
there.
Really? Tell her that oh, I don't know. Like we were talking, every one of us like to feel special. Every one of us needs to be loved. Oh, be nice to have a sister like you. The two older ones, how are they?
My older brother, he's a strong guy. He works on cars and he just sort of he doesn't he's not scared of work, I don't think. He's been learning how to work hard. And I've been seeing
Mm.
that like he wasn't like that as a teenager. He's kind of a lazy butt, but then he's lately been like he has a girlfriend he's gonna get married soon too, and
Uh,
I think he's just living like the American dream almost. But yeah, he smokes weed on after some labor, and he chills on his video games and then hangs out with friends, and yeah, hangs
nice.
out with his girlfriend or his fiance now. So
Fiance, nice. Yeah, you may have some nieces or nephews. The other one is
annoying.
okay. Everyone, every family has one.
Oh yeah. He's my little brother. He's the attention seeker, but he also has a passion for cars. So, those two kind of go together, and then me and my sister kind of go together in a way. But
Nice,
yeah.
nice. Oh, Addie, this has been wonderful talking with you. I'll forward Claire's website and you can read some of the things She writes the same things that I do, which is the same stuff over and over, really. Uh, but I think you'd enjoy her. I know she'd enjoy you.
I think I probably will. I mean, like follow her on Messenger.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mm.
Good night. It's late there. There's I grew up with a singer named Bing Crosby who sings, "It's time that you were rounding up a dream or two. So go to sleep, my little buckaroo."
Oh.
It's a pretty song. I'd sing it to my grandbabies when they were little, and they'd sing along with me. And the boy, little boy, his name is Nate. I love him so much. I love all of them. But he would say, "Time to go to sleep, my little buckaroo." And I would get to laughing, and oh my
You
God.
sounded Indian for a second. Time to go to sleep.
They would open their eyes. They'd just go to sleep and they'd open their eyes and I'd say, "Go to sleep." And they would
Right
start,
now.
yeah. Oh, that would they start laughing. And then that would set up a whole series of them pretending to go to sleep and I'd open their eyes. I'd say, "Go to sleep."
I love teasing people.
Oh my God, I do too. I do
Like,
too.
yeah, if someone's more too apologetic at my work, like if I have a customer and they're always apologizing, I'd be like, I am so mad at you.
Yeah, you ruined my
Mm-mm-mm.
day. Yeah, my
You're
day was
just
going so good. I do too. I love, say, if a waiter drops something, I'll say, "Oh, geez, everything was going so good." And but that opens up the window to them. They laugh and you laugh, and then it changes the relationship.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, everyone I come across, something comes up. Oh,
Or I'll
maybe.
ask them, "What's your least favorite part about today?" Not your favorite.
What's your
I want to
least?
know the worst.
What's the worst thing that happened to you today? That is cute. That is cute. Yeah, if those little things catch them off guard, they're not used to that. They don't know how to deal with it. And first reaction is shock, and then humor, and then laughter, and then you're in.
They'll tell you.
You found the door, and
Mhm.
then it's fun. It's puppy play, I call it. It's like puppies, dogs at a dog park. Let's play. Let's play. You can go through life uh, playing through it all. Actually, you become an example for everyone. You become a ray of light, a beacon of hope.
Have you seen that poem I posted? Um, it was about someone I met at school, like a guy I loved that I only ever saw in an instance. And yeah, he was one of those people that he just shined that for everyone around him almost. Like just,
Oh, I'd love to read it. No, if you can message
Mhm.
me it, if you can find it, I'd love to read it. Yeah, those people stand out in our lives. There are not that many of them. The ones I have in my whole life of 82 years is I can count on my fingers. I think they're the ones who looked at me and talked to me and paid attention to me. Um, who opened the door for me. It's so easy. It's so fun. Someday, if you're lucky, you'll be 82 and you'll look back on your life and smile. And I'm thrilled to have met you. I truly mean that. I think you are so beautiful and so unique, and if you can't see that, someday you will. Um, yeah, you may be one of the few. I think you are. I love you, Addie. I didn't plan to say that. It just came up. Um, but it isn't love like the world thinks. It's the feeling of I love dancing in your light, in your presence. Nice talking to you.
You too. I had a lot of fun.
I did too. You go to sleep. What time is it now?
Not that bad. It's just 10.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I stay awake till 1 o'clock and get up at 6 or 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small little spurt of sleep.
Um, well, I love sleep. I love naps. Everybody gets different sleep, has a different sleep pattern. I used to sleep much longer. Napoleon slept for 4 hours at night and conquered the world almost.
Did he? I know nothing about that dude. There was a world conqueror at some point.
Yeah, he was a warlord. He was an emperor of France, self-imposed, who kind of took over the world, of the known world. Mexico, he conquered it. He was, and then he met his comeuppance. It's called the Battle of Waterloo, soundly defeated, and they exiled him to an island by himself
Oh,
and a few other people. And he spent the rest of his life exiled, lonely. But just another story. Uh, it's all
Sounds
story.
like an exciting life.
Oh, doesn't it ever? Yeah. But no more exciting than yours will be or is. Who knows who you're going to fall in love with? Who knows what'll happen? To me, that's the greatest fun is not knowing. No one ever knows anyway, but knowing that we don't know is the hard part to swallow for most people. Knowing that we know nothing is a hard part. It's free winging it. It's jumping off a cliff and falling with every step you take and every breath, falling into whatever happens.
All right, I made dinner and I gotta
Okay.
go eat it. My brother was like, "My mom made this dinner. I made it. Excuse me."
Well, your mom sounds very
Okay.
special. Um,
She is a crazy lady. I love her.
ah, oh,
All right, bye
bye-bye.
bye.
I will record this and send it to you, and you can do what you will with it.
Okay,
All right,
I'll put it
honey.
up your butt. Oh, don't cut it that way, man.
Oh, stop recording. Stop recording. How do I do that? Pause recording. Oh my God.